Hi everyone, and thanks for joining us on our TNT today. Tuesday, big day tomorrow in Thai politics as the joint sitting of Parliament sits once again for the second time to try and nominate and elect a Prime Minister. And the government will follow from that. If it doesn't happen, then they've got another day set for Thursday, and we'll check out some of the latest developments in that story as we head for that historic vote tomorrow. But we are going to start today by doing something that all of us are going to have to contemplate at some stage if we haven't already done so, and that's retirement. Now, there are a lot of lists that come out all the time looking at different places in the world to retire. This one is certainly probably the most notable and the best researched. And it's from internationalliving.com, and the list is called The World's Best Places to Retire in 2023. And says more than 3 decades have gone by during which our scouts have scoured every corner of the globe many times over. The result is a much bigger and ever-growing selection of outstanding destinations where you can live a healthier and happier life, spend a lot less money and get a whole lot more. And in no way is our Global Retirement Index meant to be a scientific output. It's designed to be a useful tool for people, constructed out of real-world, on-the-ground information, interpreted through a lens of well-informed experience and opinion. So we get it. I mean, they've been doing this for 30 years. The list is well respected, and we'll check out this year's winners in just a moment. But I've always said that no matter what you do as far as research is concerned, how many articles you read, there's nothing like actually going and spending some time in the places that you're looking to retire and experience it yourself, because every person is going to have a different experience, and no amount of information or research is going to replace cold, hard, getting on the ground, personal research. Let's check out this list. And, we can see Thailand well down the list, and it's around about number 9 or 10, depending on different sort of allocations and different topics. But we can see here that Portugal's come out number 1, with Mexico, Panama, Ecuador, Central America doing very, very well here. Also parts of the Mediterranean and around the middle part of Europe. And Thailand really the only one in that top 15 list in Asia. And you can see there on the list there, just checking things like housing, visas, benefits, cost of living, affinity rating, development, governance, climate, healthcare, and then they've got an average score at the end. So a lot of those scores coming out quite close. And the thing about retirement is we sort of think about retirement as we get older in our life, and we have in our mind a place that we'd like to retire. And by the time we actually get there, the actual living experience could be very, very different. So it's good to sort of keep on checking on these lists to see the changes in our favourite spots and whether they're going to suit us and our retirement requirements. This is just another one of their graphs, and we're checking out here visas and benefits where Thailand scores fairly low, and then the cost of living where it scores very high compared to those other countries. So Thailand is considered good value for money. Let's see what they said about Thailand, which came number 9 in their list. And of course, they're always using that ubiquitous photo of somewhere down there in southern Thailand along the Andaman coast. It says Thailand's been a popular destination for retirees for decades, provides long-term visas for people over 50. Although Americans are the largest expat cohort in Thailand, it's also a popular destination for British, Canadian, French and Swiss. I think they compiled that sentence back sometime in the late 1980s. That situation certainly changed. These days, the most numerous expats in Thailand are the Japanese and the Filipinos. And of course, over the last 10 years, there are a lot of Chinese moving to Thailand as well. Then it says Thailand's expat appeal is that it offers an affordable cost of living, yet manifests an enriched way of life. Most expats believe that $2,500, that's US dollars per month, equates to a good life in Thailand. However, I know, says the author, that many live off less than that, especially if they own the condo that they live in. Although Thailand is a safe country with a lower crime rate than most, it's very easy to live in a condo or gated community that has security. Well, we could sit here and debate the whole cost of living story for the next 2 or 3 hours. There's no correct answer. I know a lot of people that live on a lot less than $2,500 US per month and live very, very well. Now, other people who enjoy the fine life, they might find $2,500 US at the lower end of what they'd be spending here, especially in places like the west coast of Phuket, for example, or in some of the finer areas around Pattaya or the upscale areas of Sukhumvit in Bangkok. But yeah, you can spend a lot more or a lot less depending on where you live, what you spend your money on, whether you enjoy going to international restaurants or whether you're happy eating street food, which of course is perfectly good. So anyway, that's all published by internationalliving.com. I'll put a link to that article in the description of this video. A big thanks to 5 Star Marine, by the way, our sponsor. Now, they take people out on private VIP tours off the coast of Phuket. Would have been a pretty wild and woolly day yesterday out on the waters of Phang Nga Bay, but they always find a nice quiet place for people to go, even when it's very windy or raining, because it's never, if it's raining over there, it might be perfectly dry over here. And of course, their captains know where to go. There's a link in the description of this video if you want a discount, by the way, with 5 Star Marine. And just before we move on to some other stories today, just another paragraph from that internationalliving.com story, and this is pretty important. An obstacle for people thinking about moving is finding their own community when they move. Thailand has a history of busy expat communities, and it's easy to find the tribe with your vibe. Facebook groups are popular ways to connect with people, and groups range from motorcycle groups to book clubs to salsa dancing. Whatever you're into, you'll find it here. And that's all true. There are all sorts of different clubs, but they're not going to come to you. You have to go out and find them. Now, I always say to people who think they're going to retire in Thailand, make sure you come for 2 or 3 months before and do some good research and homework. And come with an intention, come with things to do, come with some plans, and maybe search out some of these groups before you actually arrive and go and meet them just to sort of see if they're the sort of people that you want to live with as you get a little bit older in your life. Moving on to our next story today. This from coconuts.co, their Bangkok edition. And by the way, yes, we're still using the camera on my 7-year-old MacBook Pro. I don't know where my selfie stick is. I might have to go and spend another 300 baht and get another one. Anyway, the story from coconuts.co says shoe became stuck in escalator due to shopper misstep, Bangkok Mall. Well, obviously people acutely aware of these sort of stories at the moment. Seems these sort of plastic Crocs type shoes seem to end up stuck in these escalators more often than others. Let's see what the story says. Bangkok's Central Westgate shopping mall said on Sunday that no one was hurt this weekend after a misleading video triggered fears that Thailand's moving walkways are not to be trusted. Responding to footage of a slipper wedged into the teeth of an escalator track, management at the Nonthaburi Mall said the Saturday afternoon incident was caused when someone failed to step off in time and their shoe became stuck in the escalator. I'm not really aware that there's a particular step off time. I mean, I think these escalators should be made so that they're safe, that if you lie down there and have your lunch, you should still be safe. There's no sign saying you must step off the end of this escalator within 2 seconds or anything like that. A statement from the mall said, upon investigation it was found the cause was the customer's failure to step off in time when the sliding stairs ended, causing the shoe to get caught in the last step of the escalator. A mall employee who witnessed the incident immediately pressed the stop button of the sliding stairs, preventing any injuries. Here's some video that was posted on TikTok, shows one of the cleaners there trying to get the shoe out of the end there. But another example where things can get stuck in these teeth in the mechanism, and that would have been a little bit of a scare for whoever was wearing that plastic shoe at the time. And as I said, I think these escalators and these moving walkways should be built in such a way that nothing can get caught in the teeth, no matter what they're doing, no matter how long they stand there, whether it's moving or not. The article goes on to say, escalator again. Not taking the bait, many commented that it was the sandals owner that was responsible and not the mall. This person didn't lift their foot up on time until the shoe got stuck, but blamed the escalator. Another person said these rubber shoes really stick tightly. You have to be very careful when going up the escalator. I don't know about you, but I'm certainly going to be thinking twice if I'm going to a shopping centre or an airport. I think I'll make sure I'm wearing shoes and not these sort of rubber croc type shoes, because they always seem to be the ones that get stuck in the mechanisms. But as I said, I don't think it's the shoe's fault. I mean, the escalators should be built to take any sort of shoes, or they need to put a warning saying don't wear rubber croc type shoes on our escalator. Central Westgate said in its statement that customer safety is its top priority and that it conducts equipment inspections regularly. So escalators and walkways will continue to come under a lot more scrutiny following that horrific accident nearly 3 weeks ago now at the Don Mueang airport, where the 57-year-old ended up with her left leg amputated just above the knee. Moving on to our next story, this reported in the New Look Bangkok Post. Swine fever prompts sausage alert. Now, I have to admit the headline did catch my attention, but let's see what the story is about. Air passengers were on Monday warned against bringing a particular type of illegal Chinese branded sausage into the country due to its tendency to spread the African swine fever virus. The alert over the safety of the meat, popular among Chinese-style hot pot restaurants, came in a Facebook post by the Department of Livestock Development. The pork sausages in the probe were sold under the name Shong Hui, known to Thai customers as Lion brand, and produced by a manufacturer in Henan province. They became especially favoured by consumers following the popularity of Chinese-style hot pot restaurants in Thailand. And down the bottom there, the lot of defective sausages, 8.5 kilograms in total and worth at least 2,000 baht, was immediately seized as a swine fever epidemic has been detected in the country of origin. Looks like the Department of Livestock have that under control. Now, yesterday there was a story about a tropical storm heading towards, well, they said it was heading towards Thailand. Let's see what's happening with that tropical storm and the weather around Thailand. And this is from Ventu Sky, and it shows Talim up the top there. And in fact, it's going across the Chinese coast as we speak, and it's missed Vietnam altogether. In fact, it'll be scooting across the top of Vietnam and going through the very south of China. You can see Talim there on a wider map, and Thailand, zoom in there to Bangkok, and then further down, of course, you've got Phuket. So what's going to happen with the weather? Well, of course, all the forecasters are saying, oh, there's going to be torrential rain all around Thailand. And it looks like this tropical storm, now that it's hit the coast, will start to dissipate anyway. Checking the weather up in Khon Kaen, which of course is up in northeastern Thailand. Going to be 26 degrees there today. Doesn't look like there's going to be a lot of rain. And if there is, it'll be in the middle of the afternoon. Let's go to Bangkok, and it looks like bang, suddenly at around about midday, there's going to be some rain hitting Bangkok today. But again, throughout the 24-hour time, not a lot of rain. Going to Chiang Mai, and it looks like they'll have some rain during the afternoon, but not that much. And then going down to Phuket, and yes, there will certainly be some rain, but of course Phuket, a long, long way from that particular tropical storm. And just checking with that animation, we can go down to Phuket and see we've got the usual southwest monsoon sucking in some quite strong winds and moisture from the Indian Ocean. So yeah, that's the latest, I suppose, in the weather, and I don't think that tropical storm is going to have as much effect up in northern Thailand as they thought it would, because, well, it's just quite a long way from Thailand. Now, moving to the Bangkok Post as we start to check on some of the political news today, and this story says that court to decide on EC petition, and it looks like the Election Commission petition to the Constitutional Court may be heard tomorrow morning, the same day that the Parliament's going to sit for its second vote on a new Prime Minister. Timing. The Constitutional Court is to decide on Wednesday whether to hear a petition submitted last week by the Electoral Commission seeking a court ruling on whether the Move Forward Party leader Pita Limjaroenrat's MP status is now considered invalid. Another joint sitting of the House of Representatives and the Senate will also take place to select Thailand's next Prime Minister. A former election commissioner, meanwhile, posted on his Facebook page yesterday his own analysis of what will happen. He expected that the judges will convene tomorrow morning to decide whether or not to proceed with the Election Commission petition. At the same time, Parliament would convene to decide who will become the country's new Prime Minister, but would spend the first half of the day debating Parliament's Regulation number 41, which deals with the submission of a repeat motion. And that repeat motion would be that second nomination of Pita Limjaroenrat as the nominee for the Prime Ministership. The article goes on, before midday, Mr Somchai said he expects the court to agree to hear the Election Commission's petition and suspend Mr Pita as an MP, but he won't be able to act as an MP, but will remain the Move Forward Party's sole Prime Ministerial candidate. But a legal scholar and a former constitution drafter, however, said he didn't expect to see the court decide immediately when meeting on Wednesday to suspend Mr Pita as an MP. He said the judges will need time to contemplate the Election Commission's petition and evidence submitted with the court before ruling if there's a need to suspend Mr Pita in case the court decides to hear the case. So nobody really knows what's going to happen tomorrow. We're in uncharted territory. This constitution was only promulgated back in 2017. They've never faced this type of situation before, having to sort of go through repeat nominations of a candidate. So we'll just have to wait until tomorrow. Let's see what the Bangkok Post is saying about an alternative nominee. And the Bangkok Post reporting, Srettha, ready to be PM, looks to revive economy. And Srettha Thavisin, one of Thai Party's 3 Prime Minister candidates, has declared himself ready to become Prime Minister if he wins the trust of his party to take on the top job. Believe me, the numbers have been crunched, the scenario already worked out. If Pita Limjaroenrat is unsuccessful or can't participate in the Prime Minister vote tomorrow, looks like this gentleman's going to be stepping in. He said, we at the Thai Party have discussed this matter for 4 months, and if I weren't ready for the job, I would not have been named one of the 3 prime ministerial candidates by the party. He declined to comment on the possibility of Thai switching sides and joining a rival bloc of parties, including Phumjai Thai and the Palang Party, to form a new government, as has been speculated. Well, this is just one of the many scenarios that could unfold, where you could actually get the Thai Party, who's been in fervent opposition with conservative parties like Phumjai Thai, Palang Pracharat, not only over the last 4 years, but ever since the Thaksin parties became popular in the early 2000s, winning every election except for the last election in May the 14th this year. So could that happen? Could Thai jump ship? I'm pretty sure they'd be punished by their voters if they did. The story goes on. A Thai party source said that in the event Mr Pita is unable to be renominated for a prime ministerial vote or fails to garner enough votes in the joint sitting, Thai will first propose to defer the vote till next week, when it will then nominate Mr Srettha for Prime Minister. So that joint sitting will start tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. and if there's any big stories, I'll certainly bring those to you as soon as they happen here on YouTube. Now, just from the protests that happened over the weekend, this story, reported by Coconuts Bangkok, cop wore meme badges on uniform at protesters' request. It's got one badge there saying no dinosaurs and the other one a yellow cat with a knife. Not exactly sure what that's about. Let's find out. Police said yesterday that while an officer did pose for photos wearing comical insignia on his uniform, the whole thing was staged by a protest group. And police say the officer agreed when asked to wear the badges, one of which featured an orange cat with a knife in its mouth called Knife Cat. Although willfully modifying one's uniform would seem a serious breach of conduct, the police were surprisingly blasé about it. In reality, the official uniform does not allow any additional symbols. Dinosaur is a sobriquet used by younger Thais to refer to out-of-touch social conservatives and defenders of the power status quo. And the police said that those who tweeted the images could be prosecuted for computer crimes. So again, police threatening the Computer Crimes Act. Really, I think that's a bit of a storm in a teacup. Good on the police officer for just working with the protesters, allowing them to put the badges on his uniform, taking a couple of photos, having a bit of a laugh. I don't think there's much to it. But if we see anybody retweeting this, or heaven forbid, a YouTuber showing those pictures, and I'll show them once again, there they are, then I think the world's gone completely crazy if anybody gets arrested over that. Thank you for watching today. Hopefully you're a bit more up to date with things happening around Thailand. Please subscribe to the channel. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of rain later today. We've had a few rainstorms passing through and a bit windier out there than usual. But have a great Tuesday. It's going to be a very big day tomorrow in Thai politics. Thanks for watching and we'll see you tomorrow.